Hi, I'm Claire from The Planning Guide, and we are talking today about how to have a great day in Disneyland Paris. I've got a free planning tool for you, and I've written up all the hints and advice from today's video in an article that I'm going to put in the description below. So let's have a look. If you've decided you're going on a Disneyland holiday to Paris, first of all, congratulations, you're going to have a lovely time. But I've spoken to friends in the past who've been a bit overwhelmed about the planning that they need to do, or where they've been on holiday and they've got a bit underwhelmed versus their expectations. And when I've dug a little deeper, it's because they didn't do some key planning. So the purpose of this video is to help you in a step-by-step guide to using my planning tool to make sure you get absolute value in your Disneyland holiday. Now, how I start this planning is a little bit different to other planning videos you would have watched for Disney trips. I don't start with travel, I don't start with hotels, I start with your Disney mission. It's really important you establish what it is you want to get from your Disneyland holiday. Every Disney holiday is different. Yours needs to be absolutely perfect for you, and then you build your holiday around that. What do I mean by a Disney mission? I mean, you might be a family wanting to plan the most special first trip. You might be a seasoned Disney traveler who wants to focus on a specific season that is coming up. Or you might be going for a hen weekend or a proposal. Whatever you want to do with your Disney holiday trip, that is down to you. But you've got to know your mission and build around it. So let's start by establishing all of our Disney wishes. Step 1 and step 2 are really combined. I spoke about defining your Disney mission, thinking about your wishes, and a lot of that can be done with research. Research doesn't need to be boring. You're going on holiday, you want to have fun. So gather your team, your tribe, your family, whomever you're going to Disney with, and have a look at some YouTube videos. See what rides really interest your group. Are there specific shows, specific snacks, restaurants, whatever it is that is really prominent for you in your group, that's what you want to make sure you pop down on your wish list. Now, doing a wish list in this way is going to help you with your planning, because there might be some things that come up within your research that are great for you, but maybe not great for everyone in your party. For example, ride heights. Someone might really like the look of a ride, but they might be just a few centimeters short of the requirement. Trust me, there is nothing worse than queuing up, getting to that measuring stick, and then finding out that your 3-year-old is too small for Big Thunder. Yes, I've been there. Yes, there was a massive tantrum. It was awful. A cast member really helped us out, so it worked out. But I don't want you to be in that situation. So it's really good to understand what it is you can and can't do from that wish list. Step 3 is about understanding the layout of Disneyland Paris. There are 2 parks, Disney Park and Disney Studios. In Disney Park, there are 4 lands, as well as Main Street, which you could consider a 5th land. I'm not asking you to memorize every single route around Disneyland Paris. I'm just asking you to have an idea of what it is from your wish list you want to do in each land. My advice is, because of the way Paris is spread out, is not to go from land to land after one ride or one attraction at a time. Please do at least 2 things in your plan before moving on. It will really save on your steps. You are going to be walking miles around Disneyland no matter what you do, so you need to try and reduce those steps wherever you can to make sure that you have a great day. So get to learn those areas. You can also combine your wish list, your attractions, your rides, your shows, with any particular meals you want and where they are in those lands. It's also good for understanding from your wish list where things are. So say you were right in the middle of the walkway between Fantasyland and Discoveryland, and Buzz Lightyear is on your wish list, and that's got a 20-minute wait. Small World is also on your list, and that's got a 20-minute wait. You can have a quick look back at your planner, see that Buzz was on your wish list for someone, decision made, that's where you're going to go. But if you're going to Discoveryland, let's also make sure that you get something else in that you've got there, be it another ride, be it a snack. So don't leave the area you are until you're ready to do at least 2 things in that next land that you're heading to. Step 4, park bags. So I've seen people take in tiny little bags. I've seen them taking in huge camping rucksacks. Trust me, the sweet spot is in the middle. And ideally, things you're going to pack into that bag are things that you know you need for your family or group back home. If you're someone that knows you needs a few bit of first aid, or you've got medication that you need with you during the day, please pack it. Make sure you've got it with you. My number 1 tip for what should go in your park bag if you've got little ones is waterproof trousers. This is because rides that are outside will stay open in light rain, which happens quite a lot in Paris, but they will only close if there are storms. So you can get quite a few numbers of rides in when there's just a little bit of rain, but to avoid little ones getting chilly later, just take those trousers, roll them up and keep them for later. Step 5 is getting to know the Disney calendar. The Disney calendar is available on their official app and on their website. Now, pre-COVID, Disney used to be brilliant at updating this 3 to 4 months in advance. You could find out opening times, closing times, magic hours, which park was going to have the magic hour. Was it one? Was it both? Is it a full hour? Is it only 30 minutes? What time illuminations is going to be, what time the parade is. Are there any closures or cancellations going on? These are all things that can help you plan your trip. Unfortunately, because of COVID, that window for knowing that information has really reduced. It's now on average about 3 to 4 weeks before we know some of that information. It's still worth doing, and that's why I've programmed it in where I have in the planner for you to have a look at your specific dates. You're also going to see something really key on the calendar, and that's what season it is at Disneyland Paris. I'm not talking about summer or winter, I'm talking about maybe a special season. So often it might be Frozen themed, or it might be the summer of Marvel. There are different things that they do. When that happens, Disney changed the schedule. So they have to move things to accommodate some of that new entertainment. That's why it's worth knowing bespoke to your trip what's going on your days. If you join a Disney group and they're talking about the parade being at a certain time, you might put that in your planner, but if you're going during a certain season, it might be on at a different time. So please have a look at that calendar and see what else is going on that you might want to add to your list, your wish list. Step 6 is about knowing your transport options, how to get to and from the park. If you are staying in a Disneyland Paris hotel, there is a shuttle bus service. They arrive every sort of 12 to 15 minutes at the hotels. They can get crowded at those key times, half an hour before park opening and half an hour after park opening. If you're someone who does not like a crowded bus, I suggest you avoid those specific times. Or if you are staying at a Disneyland hotel, you might be within an easy walk. So I say easy walk. If you're planning on doing from opening till close at a Disney park, please remember that's quite a lot of walking. So you need to be adding these walk times to and from the hotel to that day. For example, Art of Marvel, Newport Bay, Sequoia Lodge are all about a 12 to 15 minute walk to the parks. Cheyenne and Santa Fe, a little bit further, it's more like a 20-minute walk. It's not a bad walk, it really isn't. But add that to tired feet or little legs that are with you, and it can be. So I would ask you keep that in mind when you're planning your day. I suggest a mix. Some days using the buses, some days not. If you're not staying on site at a Disney hotel, but you're at a partner hotel or an Airbnb, do have a look at local options. Remember, the RER line comes right into the train station that is just outside Disney Village. So that's really close as an option. You can also use ride shares and you can get taxis and other local bus services, but please have a look and make sure you're incorporating the cost of those into your budget planner. I've added a specific section for that so that you can weigh up the cost of that versus any free transportation that Disney might provide you. Thinking about those times of when the buses operate are also really important. Again, changing with the season because it depends what time the parks are open and closed until. So do have a look at that in the calendar as well. Step 7 is now about choosing your hotel accommodation. So remember all that research that you were doing in the earlier steps? You probably would have seen some different hotels and your family or group would have reacted in a different way depending on what hotel they saw. You've also, in the previous step, thought about those transport options and know what hotels can give you. Now that you've got that information, you can start making some decisions around hotel. If you also want to consider budget and price point, again, this is where you go back to the value calendar on the official website. Disney are quite helpful here. They put up the calendar and there are pound signs on the days. £1 sign means a lesser expensive day. 2 and 3 and sometimes £4 signs means you are going up in price point. So please consider that when you're also looking at your hotel. Remember theming as well. So when you were doing that research, if somebody was really into Toy Story, then you might want to consider Cheyenne. Or if you've got some Cars fans, I would say Santa Fe. If you want a little bit of luxury and nice feeling, it's a bit nautical, or a Donald Duck fan, you're going to want Newport Bay. Super fans, you're going to be Art of Marvel, definitely, superhero fans there. And if you're very into animals or particularly like Bambi or the great outdoors, then Sequoia Lodge is for you. The hotel that everybody loves, but it is super expensive, is the main Disneyland Paris hotel. It is currently closed. It's open again in 2023, we believe, but no official month or date yet for opening. It is stunning. I stayed there once on a very short and special trip. It is brilliant. The location is perfect, but it comes with a really hefty price tag. So please consider that in your future plans. So step 8 brings us to something non-Disney related specifically, but all things about your holiday and going to Paris that you're going to need to consider. Quite a few elements here. So again, I've broken them down in the article that is attached in the description and it's on my website and it goes with that guide, that spreadsheet as well. So let's look at those. First of all, it's got to be the latest COVID-19 guidance. I have linked all the official government websites. Remember, you have got 2 governments to check. You need to check the country that you are leaving from. So if you are in England, you need to be checking the UK site. If you are going to Paris, obviously on your Disneyland Paris holiday, it is the French government site. So it's not worth just checking one. You need to check both to make sure that you're going to be compliant. The second area here is applying for a visa. You will need a visa to enter France from 2023. You don't need it for 2022, but come 23, it will be €7 per person, and you're going to need to consider that. I've added it again on the budget tracker so that you can accommodate it. Let's talk passports next. So with passports and the exit of the EU, there are 2 key things you need to remember. One is your passport issued less than 10 years ago from when you enter the area. And 2, bearing in mind that I've just previously said, it needs to be valid for the least 3 months from the date of your intended departure. So if you left on the 1st of March 2022, it needs to be valid still 3 months after that, but even after that, still not issued more than 10 years before. So please have a look. Again, I've put that official link in the description. Transport considerations. So when you are deciding whether you're flying, taking the Eurostar or driving, there are different considerations for each piece of transportation. If you're driving, there are certain requirements that you must do to enter France. If you don't follow them, you can receive a €90 fine. No one needs that on holiday. Now let's talk technology. So you're going to be using your mobile phone. I know you might want to be escaping it to get on holiday. You will need it for the app for around the parks, and therefore you're going to need Wi-Fi. Therefore, have a conversation with your phone provider before you go and check your roaming charges. Sometimes you can just let them know you're going for a few days and they'll do you a deal just for that month if you don't already have it in your package. You also need to think about power. You might need a power bank to take with you. If you're going to be using the app, photos, doing any recordings, I would suggest having that on you. So tech, make sure you've got everything on you. So you made it through steps 1 to 8. All that is left for me to say is to have a wonderful Disneyland Paris holiday, and also just to introduce to you the tool I've created to help you do your planning. So on the attachment, it's an Excel spreadsheet. You have got several steps in date order on the first work page to take. They just mirror what I was explaining during the video. On page 2, you've got your budget planner. I would urge you, as you do your bookings and make things official, you update it as you go so that you can track your spending. You never know, you might have over budgeted and you've got a bit of money left for some more souvenirs. Either way, just helps you make sure you're not going too far over budget. The third page is your plan. So I have made a template of all things you might need to consider. I'm covering whether it's going to be an early start for you, a late night, what clothes you might need to wear, what other elements you need to consider in terms of getting from the hotels to the parks, and to make sure you're adding your wish lists as you go and you can tick them off. I've also included on the 4th page a blank template so that if you want to create your own from scratch, you absolutely can. I hope you have a really fun and smooth planning time to your Disney holiday.